Thursday night when the Ravens traveled to Miami to take on the Dolphins. He suffered the hamstring injury week 4 against the Kansas City Chiefs. They thought he would be back after the bye week. He wasn't. That's been well documented and thoroughly discussed, but now he is ready to go. And I think that was part of the reason why they held him out on Sunday against the Bears. He wants to play in Miami. He's from Miami. They had a Thursday night game 4 years ago in Miami that did not go well for the Ravens.
Right.
Lamar Jackson usually is very good, like higher level of Superman in prime time. That was one of those, man, because that was a stunner because
that was the Brian
Dolphins
Flores blitzes and all that crazy stuff. And you were like, damn, the Ravens don't know how to handle the blitz. They don't know what to do. They couldn't. And they, the Dolphins had won, like one game that year at that point, and they upset them. That was a shocker.
That was the year that the Deshaun Watson thing hovered over Tua.
Right.
And then as soon as the trade deadline came and went, the Dolphins started winning football games.
Right. Right.
Once Tua knew Deshaun Watson wasn't walking through that door, that's when the weight went off his shoulder and they started winning football games. And that was the stunner on that Thursday night. So he gets to go back to Miami. And look, there have been different theories about what went on last week with Lamar. I just think at the end of the day, they knew he wasn't going to play, and they tried to create the impression that he was.
That's right.
And they used the practices last week as advanced work for this week.
Yeah.
Because I think somebody suggested that they put him as full on Friday to kind of try to shame him into playing as part of that tension that lingers between the team and Lamar. That's not the case in this one. I think everybody was on the same page that he wasn't playing last week. This was just ramp him up for this week. Ramp him up. And if we can, along the way, make the Bears think they're going to see Tyler Huntley,
right?
Or no, they're going to see Lamar instead of Tyler Huntley. That's an added bonus. But this is all about building toward Week 9 Thursday night.
I think so. And as we've discussed so many times before, right? Hamstring's one of those where you go like, it feels like you're good and you're pretty close. Let's wait one more week. Because when it feels good, it still hasn't been tested with like, oh my gosh, I got to run around the edge and I have some crazy defensive lineman chasing me, right? And all of a sudden you're straining your hamstring to an extent where it's like, you never did that in practice. You never tested it like that. So that's what it's got to be ready for. That's what I'm excited to see. Hopefully it holds up. I'm excited for the Thursday night game. I am. I mean, the Dolphins are still fighting. There's no doubt about that. We saw that. That was an ass whooping what they gave the Atlanta Falcons last weekend. And unlike what we said about Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, I watch Baltimore film and go, I see a ray of light. There's hope. They can do this. There is an ability to turn around what's going on. I just talked to you about how their defense is healthy. I mean, I didn't even realize it was going to be that healthy when we had to pick games on Thursday afternoon, which are Thursday morning, which stinks. But, yeah, they got everybody in the right spots there. They got Mike Green, that second rounder from Marshall, who's starting to pop on the regular as a pass rusher because he was a top 20 pick and had some off-the-field stuff that people didn't like. So from that standpoint, you go, ooh. And then you go, ooh, on the offense, they can run the ball still. Okay, maybe it hasn't been as good as everybody wants, but they still can run the ball. It's effective. And they still got some guys that can make some plays in the pass game. And then you go, oh, wait, Lamar Jackson's coming back, and their schedule, that's where their story's different than the other teams in the AFC North, because you see a potential of, oh, wow, watch out. There's some things here. If they get healthy and Lamar's good to go here, they could go on a run. And would I be shocked to sit here and go, oh, they beat the Dolphins. Oh, they beat the Vikings. Oh, they beat the Browns. Oh, they beat the Jets. They beat the Bengals again. They beat the Steelers again. They beat the Bengals again. And then they go into and play the New England Patriots in the first time in a long time where you go, whoa, they haven't lost in 7 or 8 weeks. This could be exciting. Yeah, I don't think that's a far-fetched possibility. I certainly think that could happen.
Hey, he's got to deal with Brian Flores again week 10. Let's not call that a win. All right?
I hear you. I'm not trying to say that one's a win, but that's at least where you go. The state of the Vikings right now with J.J. McCarthy and all that, I still go, yeah, a high-functioning Baltimore Ravens team is better than them, but we'll see where that goes. They got to play it and prove it on the football field.
By week 10, it could be Cousins under center for the Minnesota Vikings. You never know what's going to happen. Look, I've been saying that at least on the outer edge of the radar screen, we have to monitor the possibility that J.J. McCarthy completely face plants, and I hate to say if he gets injured again, but he's got a history of getting injured on a fairly regular basis. If something happens Sunday that causes the Vikings to pick up the bat phone to Atlanta, put up the Kirk Cousins bat sign, that's not an impossibility because that's the one team he could easily transition to.
Yeah, I hear you there. I hear you. I just, again, you got to find out what J.J. McCarthy is at some point here and then let it rip, right?
I'm sorry. I pulled us away from the purple team we should be talking about. By the way, in 1996, when the Browns became the Ravens, and I saw their color scheme as purple, I was pissed because there's only one purple team in the NFL. I remember being pissed off. Get out of here.
I know.
That's the Vikings color.
How pissed off are you that new purple team's got 2 more Super Bowl wins than you do?
Yeah, I don't like that either. Although, you know who it really pisses off? Tell a Browns fan that it's actually the Browns that won those Super Bowls. That'll really piss them off.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, sure.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.